Hey everyone, good morning, almost afternoon. It's 11:38. It's been a very interesting day in the world of weather, right? We had all those storms last night. That kind of left us with some fog this morning. Now the fog has eroded, and look over my shoulder. That's probably pretty tough to see. I just will not be lazy, and I'll get up and walk over here for you guys. Here, let me flip the camera so you guys can see. Whoop. There we go. Okay. So that's a little bit of blue sky peeking out. Here's a better shot. It's downtown. We had storms earlier, and now it's starting to get some sunshine breaking through. We are also warming up Sandusky already. It's almost 80 degrees out there now. It's still a little cooler in Cleveland. We're in the lower 70s, upper 60s in Elyria. And it's cooler out here and even cooler out east because we've had rain more recently, especially those of you out in Menor and Warren and Ashtabula. The rain finally moving out for you. And now the real warm-up begins. All this warm air out here in northwestern Ohio is going to be moving into our area through the afternoon. I'm sure engineering loves me touching all of these monitors and getting my fingerprint. Does that bother you, Jeff, when people touch your computer monitor? Does that bother some people? Like if they're working, if you're working and somebody comes over and they're like, hey, and they touch your screen. I know people who really hate that. So, I don't know, does that bother you guys? I don't care if somebody
touches my screen.
Don't touch my monitor. Okay, so I wanted to check in with you guys because we've actually had some changes. Earlier today, this enhanced risk of severe weather, that's what we call it, where you see numerous. Earlier today, that was a little bit farther south and a little bit farther off to the east. That did include the west side of Cleveland. Storm Prediction Center has now shifted that risk. That's the higher risk of severe weather today out into Toledo and Detroit. So Cleveland no longer included in that risk area. But we still have the threat here for some scattered thunderstorms. See how we're in the yellow shade? This is a map provided to us by the Storm Prediction Center out in Norman, Oklahoma. And they call this yellow area a slight risk of severe weather, but basically just what that means is that we could see scattered severe weather. And then in the green, that's marginal severe weather. So that means isolated severe. I think the terminology, like their branded terms that they use are a little, I don't want to say misleading, but, marginal severe weather. What does that mean to anybody? So I just like isolated for that, for the green area. So if you're traveling today to Pittsburgh, need to watch out. A little bit of a higher risk here in the Cleveland and Youngstown areas, Akron and Mansfield. And then again, that risk goes up, Detroit and Toledo. So if you're doing any traveling today, that's where the higher threat of severe weather is. I'm going to go through the comment section and see who's joining us. Mike, perfect day to ride a roller coaster. Yeah, but look, it's on that enhanced risk, or the risk for numerous severe thunderstorms, is almost to Sandusky. So I'm glad the park is closed today. They won't be opening until weekend of May 6th. Brian, good morning. Michael, Edward, Timothy, good morning. Oh, I miss you guys too. Anthony, good morning. Jim, yes, so we have some severe thunderstorms coming our way. Andrew says, I hate when people touch my monitor. That's so funny. I know a lot of people who actually hate that. They don't like when people touch their computer monitor. Let's talk a little bit more about this threat for severe weather. Let's see if I can access some of my graphics from afar so I can show you guys what's going on here.
Yeah.
So they could have.
They got like 3 inches of rain. Yeah, they could have done that, but the thing is,
so let's talk about this timing. Hey, Joe from Sheffield Lake. Hope everybody's doing okay out there. Let's break down the timing on this severe weather threat because, it's warm outside. Remember, if you're just joining us, look how nice and warm it is out there. So I don't know about you guys. I know I'm going to be outside enjoying this warmth this afternoon, but you don't want to be caught off guard if you're out enjoying it and it starts storming. So let's go through future view. We're going to start off at 12 o'clock here and watch what happens through time. 1, 2 o'clock. We could see a little storm activity developing out here in the eastern end of our viewing area, but I'm not really concerned about that. I think what's coming that we need to really be watching is this main batch of thunderstorms associated, it's really out ahead of a cold front that's going to be moving in tonight. Rob says it's sunny in Geneva. I bet. You know, the early morning rain's moving out, so now things are really going to clear up, and it's going to look nice for most of the afternoon. But look, 5 o'clock, there are my thunderstorms. Whoa, evening drive. Some of you could be seeing some strong storms. I really don't think everyone is going to be seeing rain at once. So you might be seeing rain like on the west side of Cleveland, and your friend out in Ashtabula isn't seeing anything quite yet. But as the night wears on, more widespread, steady batches of rain and thunderstorms coming through here. And again, some of this could be severe. The main threats, damaging wind and large hail. Heavy rain also a threat. I'm not super concerned about flash flooding because I think these are going to be fast movers, but we are a little saturated after yesterday's rain, so that could lead to a few instances of flash flooding. So we just need to be aware if you do encounter an area of high water, you know, don't drive through it, just turn around and you'll eventually get to where you need to go. Just avoid any areas like that. By midnight, just a little light lingering rain there. That should move out. And then look what happens. Tomorrow we're dry in the morning. Probably going to see, excuse me, I clearly need to go get some water and a throat lozenge or probably,
something, need some water.
I don't know what's going on with my throat here. And my little Facebook Live keeps locking up. Oh, well, we'll get through it. So again, I think we're going to have a lot of cloud cover around tomorrow morning and maybe some light rain. But the big thing you'll notice with tomorrow is the change in how it feels outside. So it's going to be cooler, it'll be windier, and it's blustery out there right now. But we're going to have highs only in the 50s tomorrow. So this is going to be a big change to go from this warm, almost like summer-like weather today to this cooler, more spring or even fall-like weather for tomorrow. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Please feel free to ask me in the comment section. And if they pop up, I'll get to them. If they don't pop up and I don't get to your question, I'll just go back onto my Facebook feed on the computer because it seems to be a little bit more reliable for getting comments. Okay, so Joe says, how's tonight between 9 and 11? Oh, gonna go walleye fishing. I love walleye. Okay. Let's see, your comment said 9 and 11. I'm thinking it's probably going to be wet out there. Here's 9 o'clock. You can see through time. The showers kind of start to wind down, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Still some light rain out there, though. Jonathan says, not too bad for Dover, New Philly. You know, for you, because you're a little bit farther south, it's probably going to hold off longer till around sunset or so. That's when you've got most of your rain. I think really, guys, the highest threat today is out here, Toledo and north, into Michigan and into Detroit. But again, we can't rule out some scattered severe weather. Let's see, whose Facebook has been acting up today. Yes, it has. It's locked up for me a few times. Jonathan, is the weather going to be bad in Tuscaroras? Again, I really don't think that we're going to see much going on down here until later. So this is, again, 8, 9 o'clock is when we start to see more showers moving into Dover, New Philly, and then kind of continuing through the night. Because you are a little bit farther south and east, it may not be quite as stormy, but I can't rule out some strong thunderstorms in that area. Hey, Noah, how are you today? Who else is out there? Again, if you guys have any questions about the weather situation for tonight, just let me know in the comment section. And you know who else we have here? I told him I wasn't going to bother him.
Hey.
Because I know he's working. When Jeff has glasses on, weather's not going to be so good.
Or if I show up at your town.
Or he's like Jeff Cantori. Like he shows up. And if he comes to town, the weather is not so good.
Yeah.
And look what else he's got. A big coffee today. So that means that the storms are going to be really kind of widespread. Brett says tornado watch. No, we don't have anything like that. The highest tornado threat, guys, is going to be out of our area. Probably across far northwest Ohio. So like Van Wert. What are some other areas out here? Again, what Toledo and west is where if there are any tornado warnings or any rotating storms, I think the threat of that is farther west. Yeah, southeast Michigan, Again, Detroit, Toledo, Defiance, just out west. No watches or warnings yet, nothing like that. Wouldn't surprise me, though, if they pulled the trigger on a severe thunderstorm watch at some point. And again, we don't issue those. So a lot of people think that we issue those, but we don't. That all comes from NOAA, our friends at NOAA. Not Noah Smith. Hi, Noah. But national.
NOAA issues them.
NOAA issues severe thunderstorm warnings. NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. They issue all that stuff.
What does that stand for?
That's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Wait, how do you spell? Wait,
that's going to be N as in Nancy, O as in orange, A as in apple, A as in apple.
Even Tia knows what Noah is.
Yeah, everybody knows what NOAA is. Joe says, I don't mind a little rain as long as it's not lightning. I do think we could see some lightning. You know, up until yesterday, guys, we really actually needed rain because we had a deficit for the month of April, but then we picked up like almost 2 inches of rain at the airport yesterday, and now we have a big surplus for the month, and everything is nice and saturated. So, you know, a little rain won't hurt us, but we don't need it all at once. You can't have too much of a good thing, and that's what we saw last night when there was so much flooding out at that Sam's Club. That was in Brooklyn, right, Tia? Thank you. I was listening to you guys this morning, by the way. Again, that in Brooklyn, that Sam's Club, they had awful flooding, people's cars, and that's flash flooding. It happens in an instant. And if you've maybe just are tuning in, again, I'm not super concerned about the threat for flash flooding tonight because I think that these storms are going to move pretty quickly. But because we had all that rain yesterday, it wouldn't surprise me if we had a few instances of that. So just avoid riding through any flood waters that might be covering roads or anything like that. I'm going to pop off of here, or hop off. I'm not going to pop off. I'm just going to hop off of this Facebook Live. And hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm headed out at 12:30, and we're actually going to be doing a live televised auction at about 3 o'clock, I think 3 to 5, so that should be pretty fun. And these guys back here, Jason's not here yet, but that guy right there is going to be keeping you guys updated, and Jason once he gets here. Joe said, tell Jeff hi for me.
Hello.
He says hello.
Hello.
So he'll be here all night, keeping you updated once I have already left the building.
All night.
And gone to bed. Jeff is like nothing but dedicated. You guys have a fantastic day. Brian says Jeff rocks. We think so too.
Sometimes.
We think he rocks. You guys have a good day, and hopefully I'll see you on the news at noon. Bye-bye.